session of the day is AI and the South Indian world, publishing languages in the age of algorithms. I would like to invite Mr. Marudhan, literary voice preserving Tamil in the AI era, MB Usha Prathyusha, language advocate enhancing Telugu's digital presence, and Kirupalakshmi Krishnan, scholar exploring the intersection of language and technology.
Welcome to the session. So, I think I'll directly start with the questions. So, recently I read an article which talks about the research that goes on behind the scenes of AI, and they researched about the answers that AI gave, and they found out that 90% of the answers that AI gives is factual and correct, but then 10% of the answers that AI gives is actually where AI hallucinates, meaning AI actually makes up its own answers and just gives it with extreme confidence. So, but then the CEO of DeepMind gave a rather controversial statement saying that this ability of AI can actually be a good thing for creative writing and for art, saying that this ability can mimic human ingenuity, or it can mimic the human's ability to lateral thinking. So, what do you think about this opinion? Do you really think AI in creative writing is a boon, or what is your opinion on that?
Thanks for that question. It's a very interesting question to answer. AI, according to me, is a new player in the field. So I value diversity. So all sorts of voices needs to be heard. All languages and all cultures have to be presented in a text. So in that aspect, I will welcome AI too, because there is a scope for a machine that thinks and writes. So on that aspect, I welcome AI as an additional, participant. At the same time, I read a quote somewhere. Salman Rushdie has said that I have been reading about AI also, like you people, but then I am not going to worry much about AI, because he said AI can't crack a joke. AI can't tell you a joke. So it's a simple statement, but then AI, you have to prompt AI to do something, and then it comes up with an answer. It's like it's like an enhanced Google. So AI doesn't do anything on its own. It doesn't think. It doesn't feel any. Like I'm now tired, so let me rest. So now I am creative. Let me create something. I am enthused by this site, so let me write a poetry. So it's not how AI works. So AI's creativity is also in a way conditioned. It is pre-planned. It is designed. So that is not exactly creativity. So like we have our flaws, we have our emotions, and that comes out in our creative works. Whereas AI system, it has been fed, everything is fed. So it generates out of the knowledge that is inbuilt, and it adds on the knowledge, but then it's all has to be spoon fed. So we have to spoon feed and then allow the AI to come up with something else. So I think in that sense it has limited capacity to generate creative works, but it also does that. I did some experiments on those aspects. I can share it with you a little later. So that's the initial remarks that I would like to share with you.
Okay. So I have a follow-up question for this as well. As a publisher, say for example, we are getting a manuscript from one of the artists, and we really like the work and we are ready to publish it. But then, unknown to us, they had kind of used AI to create that work, and AI has done its work, and it gave a lot of misinterpretation and wrong data. So how does it legally impact a publisher who publishes such works?
So you would like to answer this?
In AI, we can give it prompts and get images, but we cannot say it copyright issues may come when you actually an artist give a art. If we use it for a cover page or anything, we have a agreement with the artist, or we can directly say he is the artist of the image and all. But if there are so many tools which can create images now, for inner images to cover pages, we can create in AI. actually as of today there is no clarity on this. Is it I mean, if we create an image, that rights will go to the prompt giver or the machine or the publisher who use that image?
Let me add on to that. Um, if I write a poem or a non-fiction work or a fiction work, I take responsibility for that work. So if there is going to be any mistake, so I have to own up for that. So AI doesn't do that. So AI, as I said, spoon fed. So it is not a person. So it cannot own up anything. It can always say Gandhi killed Nathuram Godse, and then it can correct itself and saying sorry, Nathuram Godse killed Gandhi, and it doesn't. It just have to say sorry, and then it can get back to its work. So we can't do that. So if we make that mistake, then we will be ridiculed, we will be called upon, we will be questioned. So we have that social responsibility and that care that we need to put into our work. So AI is a framework, and it is everything is fed. So it doesn't have to think anything about the responsibility, consequences, anything. So as regards to attributes, it is an interesting question, but there is no specific answer as far as I know. So who owns the work that AI generates? Just because I am giving prompt and asking it to write a poetry, does it become my poetry? No, doesn't. Does it belong to the machine's creative work? No, it doesn't. So who created it? So it's a sort of a collaboration. So myself and the system, we speak to each other and then we generate something. Let me just read out a small thing. I gave a command, okay, write a poem about Tolstoy. And then AI came up with a poem, 8-9 pages. I'm not going to read all of them. It says Tolstoy's pen is the poem name, and it says, in fields where birches whisper low, where winds of old ideals still blow, a bearded sage once paced the land with truth and justice in his hand. So like that, it produces pages and pages of poetry. And then I said, rewrite the same poem in William Blake's language. And then it came up with some philosophical insights, and then it generated another poem. So in a second, it can generate a poem like or Tennyson or William Butler Yeats. So it can keep on generating poems which nobody owns. It is all filled in the cloud. So attribute is always a problem. I don't know how English, other languages and in other countries how it works. Because if AI generates a cover picture, so will we attribute it as AI has generated this picture? So do we have to pay it? What do we owe to the AI? So these are the questions that are at large. So I don't think a definitive answer has been, prepared.
So to circle around, do you think there are laws in India that actually protect the publisher from AI, or how
I
does
don't
it
think
work?
there are any laws. No.
There is no specific law to differentiate what is creating by human and what is creating by AI.
This is a developing field, so I think these things have to be contemplated.
So
and,
can we conclude that if we publish a work that was actually created by AI and has some copyright issues or anything, publisher has to take up the responsibility?
Yes, I think publisher has to take up the responsibility because he has publisher.
Because publisher is the person who take the responsibility to that particular work.
So my next question. Recently, Now AI was launched. It is a translation tool which was specifically launched for Indian languages. And they promise 70% accuracy in the first draft, but they agree that the first draft cannot be published, and a human editor has to edit it. And
Translated from which language to
any Indian languages, between any Indian languages, and it can also be translated to English from Indian languages. So
How accurate is the question now?
They promise 70% accuracy, and they also say that the first draft can be ready by 10 to 15 days, and with the help of human editor, we can bring a book within 1 month. As a publisher, I understand how deadlines are very important for us, and bringing a book in 1 month is like a huge thing for us. But is it worthwhile? I mean, do you think an AI can actually translate the cultural intricacies of our languages? And I mean, South Indian languages, even if we take the major four language, they have a lot of dialects.
Yes.
Each language has their own dialects. Do you
Yes.
think the translation tool will be able to translate it better?
Actually, translation tools can do simple translations very well, but if you take if our work want to capture the emotion of the people in our region, in Andhra there are so many dialects are there. Costa, Rayalaseema and Telangana dialect is there. So every dialect has its own vocabulary. So AI cannot capture the expression in the native words. It cannot capture it. It can truly Rama is a good boy. Ramudu manchi baludu. It can say that much. But whereas in poetic form, or if you use some local dialects and all, some words are there. What can we say? So, what are the native regional words? How can we put?
Okay, so I think translation is one area where AI can do wonders. I have it's a promising in that sector, because as far as fiction and non-fiction is concerned, creative works I will not trust AI. I will not ask AI to generate a text, write a poem or write a non-fiction work. But I think I can use AI to translate text. Especially, I've done some experiments on this in our office. I work for Tamil publication called Kizhakku Padipagam. So we have tried translating a few texts. So we tried translating first from English to Tamil. So the result was close enough to horrible. So we translated from Tamil to English, and it was too good. It was almost bordering to excellent. So I was very impressed with the text that it has generated. So we did more, and then we found out that AI can in future, maybe in an year or so, it can pick up so much and learn so much that it can translate a complete book from a regional language to English in the matter of a few minutes or hours. But that is one draft. So I think it can really create that. That's one promising area that I have found. So it can create a text, but that cannot be sent to print as it is. So it involves a role of an, like just like how, if there's somebody turns up a translation work, somebody has to go through it, somebody has to copy edit it, somebody has to check with the original. So I think those processes remain. So a human element is required, editorial inputs are required, and editor has to be there. So we are going to this might be a cautionary thing, but then I think translators will be reduced in the future. Their role will be diminished. So AI will translate text in a nice way, will keep on improving, and it can do a better job out of it. So but we will need editors. So they have to compare with the originals, like you said, the cultural intricacies and then the language, the dialects, those things ought to be checked. So once we have an AI account, created an account, ChatGPT or anything like that, so we can keep on improvising that. We can always correct the ChatGPT and say, this is not how you should translate this particular word, use this word. So AI learns. So unlike human, so it learns pretty fast. So it can build up its vocabulary, it can enrich its vocabulary, and next time when you feed the same dialect, it can generate a better outcome. So I think editorial role is required, but an editor and AI can, in collaboration, can produce more translations. And again, the problem will be attribution. So how to attribute the name of AI as a translator? Like I wrote in a book, my name is Marudhan, so who is going to be translated by AI? So, correct. So that will be a problem. So that we have to work out a solution for that.
So not only that, we can even speak with a conversation. We can make our conversations with AI. We can give it whatever inputs we want. We can just like you give some instructions to your staff and everyone, you can ask it, and with undoubtedly it will give you very fast. It will respond and will give you, and it will rectify the mistakes, and it will save our previous conversations and all, and it will understand our need, what is our exact output we are expecting with the previous conversations we made with that in that professional space. So it will use it, and it will not do the mistakes it did before. So it will rectify it and will give a fine output. But as sir said, we definitely need editors in this, because we can reduce repeated works we can make with using AI tools and all, but not the final check. The final check will be done by humans only, who is the subject experts and editors. They should take care of the is it correct or not. Proof checks should be done, because in English there are so many tools which will do proof checks and all. In regional, not that developed, I think. We tried many things, but spelling mistakes and all, grammatical mistakes are coming in spelling tools. So for regional languages, it has to be developed.
Sir, you said that you experimented translating from regional language to Tamil to English. I'm just curious, as a publisher, was it a fiction work or a non-fiction work?
We tried both, but it works well with non-fiction because it's information based, whereas fiction involves dialogues, descriptions, and then a lot of cultural other elements. So it is excellent in non-fiction and too good in fiction. That's what I think. I can read out something up from some recent, something that I did. Do you have time? Yeah. Sure.
You can read a short excerpt, that's fine.
Okay. So I asked AI, will Tolstoy help AI to write his story if he were alive today? So it said, we know Tolstoy's framework is ethical and moral philosophy. So it said, short answer is unlikely. Maybe as a co-author, but he might use it as a tool cautiously and critically if it helps illuminate truth and reach more people. So I think this is a very clear answer that AI itself has generated. So it is a self-criticism. AI has thought like Tolstoy and it has come up with this answer. I think this is very poignant that I found.
Thank you. And this question is for you. So you said that there are a lot of AI tools for doing the other publishing works for English language. What are the tools that are currently available for South Indian languages that actually helps you? Is there any for maybe typesetting, layouts, book cover images?
For see, we did a lot of experiments on this, but script wise it is not giving a good output. It is there are so many mistakes in script and all. If you give the AI a prompt, and we will get a cover page image, and you can make images itself, but you cannot make the page layout and all everything because it cannot scan the text. For in Telugu, it cannot read the Telugu text properly and put it back. If there is a Telugu text on an image, it is not coming as it is if you upload the image to the AI tool. It is like with a lot of mistakes. It is like it's not even Telugu Kannada. It is giving some other script actually. So we in that case we are just using AI for image generation and for layout thing, for page numbers, basic things we can do in that. But the text wise we have to do it manually as of now.
And the next question is publishing industry nowadays, it's taking a shift towards online media, and naturally the majority of marketing efforts are also being taken online. A lot of online promotions and everything are going on. Do you think AI can support us in that area for South Indian publishing?
So actually it is possible. It is actually very good in marketing and all. AI, we can use it as ad creating and for ad we can generate text and all easily. For ads and all, we don't need any creative work in that. The text will be factual, and the information is very simple in ads and all. It is not like writing a book, so it's not a fiction. So for ads and all, we can use AI. We can even uh, social media post, for example Facebook, Insta, Twitter. There are so many platforms where we can promote our books and all. So with one prompt, AI can give different types of posters for different platforms. We can give only input for this is the information I give, please. So you prepare the post for X, post for the Insta. I want a script for the reels. You can give whatever. It will create immediately and will give you the output. But the only thing is, if you want to create the poster, again the text script will be entered manually. If you want the matter, that doesn't matter. And even you can schedule your things. It market campaigns and all, we are using these days AI only. So it is very easier. Manual thing is very less in this. When you use the AI tool, it is just like, to put it simple, AI, using AI is for a doctor, for a surgeon with a surgical knife. If you know how to use it, that's not at all an issue. If you don't know how to use it, that will create a lot of problems.
Yes,
You have any points?
Yeah, I think the prompting is what is important, because even in the automated, materials that AI pushes out onto the social media like Facebook and Instagram, there is a monotonous language that it adopts for all the for all the books, whether it is a novel by Tolstoy or by Dickens or by someone who has just written a fresh novel. So it uses the same vocabulary, like mesmerizing, it's a magnanimous, something. It uses the same repetitive languages, so it gets bored when you read the same blurb that has been used for all the books. So those can be rectified with prompting the AI to do a better job, and we can ask them to avoid certain usages, over usages, idioms and phrases, and refine the language. And we can use it to self automate, automate and push up the materials to the social media. So promotion activities, I think AI can, next to translation, promotion is something that AI can be useful as of now.
And this question is for both of you. So AI can produce detailed summaries of a book and analysis too. Even for South Indian languages, major South Indian languages, it gives a pretty decent summary of the book. And it also can give us what notable personalities have told about that book and what are the other discussions that are going around that book. And it can basically everything related to that book. Without reading that book, a person can get all the key informations about that book. Do you think this is going to affect the future of publishing industry, especially for a non-fiction work? What is your opinion?
Yeah, I don't think it will affect the publishing industry, because it is for those people who need very short and very somewhat an outline kind of information. This might be useful. So for people who are interested in going in depth and then study the whole material, so I think they will approach a book instead of approaching AI for a quick solution. So it's more like a presentation that you can actually condense the whole of Second World War into 10 slides, and you can write pages of books, book after book about Second World War. So it's about the needs of the consumers who are looking forward to short and crisp introduction. So I think this might give us short presentation, but that may not in itself be sufficient. So for example, if you ask AI to give a short summary of War and Peace, and it can generate in 1 paragraph or 2 paragraphs or 2-3 pages. So but that will not give the essence of what Tolstoy wrote for all those many years. So that is not a replacement for the original book, but that can either induce the person to know more about it, or the person who is on the run and wants to check on a few things to fill up the gap. So it can be used for that. So that's what is my opinion.
I'll rephrase my question. how will it, say for example, how will it affect the readers? How is AI going to affect the readers? Do you think readers are still going to want that personal touch, like, read a book and know the information, or are they going to shift to a faster result and just learn and go on the move? Do you think that shift is going to happen to our readers, or do you think readers will continue to want to buy a book and read? What is
I
it?
think more and more people will be inclined to use AI to know the short synopsis, and if they are really interested, and they will approach the original text. So if they are not interested, if the time is what is very important for them, then they may not approach the original text.
Yes.
Otherwise, they'll be happy with the short synopsis.
See, for in the publishing also, there are academic books are there, and at the same time, the books which will give you, I mean, like fiction and all are there. For a read, it depends on totally the need of the consumer. As sir says, if I want to know what is the, I have a particular subject on my mind, and I want to read a book on. I want to know what are all the books available on that subject. Then I will ask AI, like I'm telling you the reader perspective. I will ask the AI what are all the books available, what are all the summaries. Then I will choose the book from it, and then if I get interested in that book, then I will go and buy the whole book. It will save the consumer's time, and at the same time, there is no need to buy all the books and know the things. It will save their money, time, effort, energy levels, everything. But will it affect the publisher? If you ask me, as sir say, if you want to know in detail, if I am doing some research, I want to know more about the subject, I will go to the library and I will read the entire volume of the books. So in that way, publishing industry will not get affected by this thing.
I think we can conclude the session. Thank you so much for the wonderful discussion about the AI. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Session.